In a world where time relentlessly marches forward, a natural question arises. What distinguishes those who meet old age in decline from those who continue to radiate vitality even at 100 years old? The answer lies not only in the favor of fate or genetic predisposition, but also in a conscious choice available to everyone. This longevity study will reveal 5 key lessons supported by real-life examples and time-tested principles. Viewers are encouraged to stay until the end to learn how these revelations can change their future and fill their lives not only with years, but with quality. The first lesson is, never extinguish the thirst for knowledge, remain insatiably curious. The pursuit of knowledge and the spark of curiosity are inexhaustible sources of energy, keeping us engaged, involved in life, and truly alive, regardless of age. Have you ever met 90-year-olds whose eyes light up when talking about their favorite thing? Imagine an elderly person enthusiastically taking up a new hobby, acquiring a useful skill, or exploring uncharted corners of the world with childlike wonder. This is not just a cute quirk, but vivid proof of the inextricable link between continuous learning and vitality. Ceasing the quest for new knowledge is fraught with stagnation, as if accelerating the relentless passage of time. However, a mind insatiably thirsting for understanding has an amazing ability to maintain the youth of the body and the steadfastness of the spirit. Consider outstanding figures such as Benjamin Franklin, whose boundless curiosity defined his life's path into old age. At the age of 70, when most people prefer peace, Franklin continued to conduct innovative experiments with electricity, seeking to unravel the mysteries of lightning and invent the lightning rod. His tireless pursuit of discovery not only had a huge impact on the course of history, but also maintained his mental acuity, purposefulness, and deep connection with the world around him. As a modern example, consider Nola Ox, a resident of Kansas, who at the age of 95 accomplished something that seemed impossible to many. In 2007, she received a bachelor's degree, studying alongside students who were decades younger than her, and then continued her studies, earning a master's degree. Nola's story is not just a source of inspiration, it is a reminder that learning has no age limit. Her pursuit of intellectual growth fueled her sense of purpose and kept her actively involved in life. Obviously, for a long, rich, and interesting life, it is necessary to constantly broaden your horizons. The human brain is a powerful tool capable of creating new neural connections even in old age. Scientific studies confirm that mental activity, such as reading, solving puzzles, or learning foreign languages, slows down the decline in cognitive function and improves overall health. However, it's not just about education or systematic learning, but about developing curiosity. It is important to ask questions about the world around you, read books on unfamiliar topics, watch documentaries, attend lectures, and communicate with people whose point of view differs from yours. Every discovery, even the most insignificant, fuels vitality. Curiosity not only preserves youth, but also enriches every moment of life, turning ordinary days into opportunities for wonder and development. It strengthens resilience and helps you adapt to changes with ease and enthusiasm. At 25 or 95, the pursuit of knowledge is the key to a fulfilling life. Therefore, it is necessary to embrace the unknown, seek new ideas, and allow curiosity to become the driving force of life. Secondly, you need to move as if your life depends on it, because it actually does. One of the most hidden dangers lurking in longevity, especially after the age of 80, is physical inertia. As soon as a person allows himself to plunge into a sedentary lifestyle, his body begins to steadily fade, losing strength, flexibility, and vitality. Inactivity is not just a neutral state, but an active catalyst for deteriorating health, weakening muscle tissue, stiffening joints, and weakening the cardiovascular system. The facts speak for themselves. Lack of physical activity is associated with a number of age-related ailments, from heart disease to impaired cognitive function. However, there is an inspiring truth. To stay active, it is not necessary to perform extreme sports feats or exhaust yourself with training. It's about organically weaving purposeful, joyful movements into everyday life, choosing activities that match your interests and preferences. As a prime example, consider the story of Jeanne Calment, the oldest woman in the world who lived to an impressive 122 years. Her secret wasn't in rigorous training or an unattainable lifestyle, but in constant movement. Calment rode her bicycle until she was 100 years old, a compelling testament to the power of staying active in a natural and enjoyable way. Her story isn't an exception to the rule, but rather a beacon indicating what's possible when movement becomes a lifelong habit. Similarly, it's worth noting the shepherds of Sardinia, a region known for its high concentration of centenarians. These individuals cover great distances daily, traversing rugged terrain not out of obligation, but because it's an integral part of their lifestyle. Their movements are purposeful, connected to their environment, and sustained over decades. Clearly, an excessive indulgence in the comforts of the couch has serious consequences, shortening lifespan. A passive lifestyle doesn't just temporarily reduce activity, but also accelerates the aging process, making it harder to return to previous form. The solution to this problem is quite simple. Find activities that bring joy through movement and incorporate them into your daily routine. This could be walks in scenic parks, dancing to favorite tunes, gardening, swimming in a pool, or practicing yoga. The key is regularity and enjoyment of the process. Movement should be perceived as a joyful expression of the body's capabilities, not as an unpleasant punishment. Scientific research supports this viewpoint. Regular physical activity promotes improved circulation, strengthens bones, elevates mood through endorphin production, and enhances cognitive function. It's a comprehensive defense against the negative effects of time. Even moderate activity, such as brisk walking for half an hour daily, can significantly reduce the risk of developing chronic diseases and increase lifespan. The appeal of this principle lies in its accessibility. Movement is available to virtually everyone, regardless of age, fitness level, or financial resources. Thirdly, special attention should be paid to forming and maintaining a strong social circle. Loneliness, like an invisible epidemic, has a devastating impact that is underestimated by many. It's not just a fleeting feeling of sadness. Chronic isolation can shorten lifespan, and scientific studies compare its negative impact on health to smoking a pack of cigarettes daily or living with obesity. At the same time, having strong social connections is a powerful source of vitality, a cornerstone of longevity and well-being. For a fulfilling life, it's necessary to purposefully invest time and effort in developing relationships, creating a reliable social network capable of providing support in joyful and difficult times. Why is this so important? Humans are inherently social creatures, striving for connection. In the distant past, our ancestors survived by banding together, and this evolutionary imprint still shapes our behavior. Social connections help reduce stress levels, strengthen mental health, and increase physical resilience. A meta-analysis conducted in 2010 by Brigham Young University, encompassing 148 studies with over 300,000 participants, showed that people with strong social connections were 50% more likely to live longer than those who experienced a lack of connection. The facts speak for themselves. Relationships are not just a pleasant addition to life, but a vital element. As an example, consider the stories of people who reached old age while maintaining a cheerful spirit. George Burns, the famous comedian, lived to be 100 years old, continuing to joke and delight audiences until the very end. His secret was that he was rarely alone, surrounded by friends, colleagues, and constant laughter. Burns remained active and energetic. Another example is the residents of Okinawa, one of the regions with the highest longevity rates in the world. Their secret weapon is moai, groups of friends formed in childhood and maintained throughout life. These close communities provide emotional support, share common goals and responsibilities. Moai are not just clubs of interest, they are a lifeline, ensuring that no one feels lonely or lost, whether in joy or in sorrow. A different picture emerges for those who prefer solitude. Social isolation has a detrimental effect, accelerating cognitive decline, weakening the body's immune defenses, and increasing vulnerability to cardiovascular diseases and depression. A large-scale Harvard study spanning from 1938 and dedicated to the study of adult development found that the quality of interpersonal relationships at age 50 is a more reliable predictor of health and well-being at age 80 than indicators such as cholesterol levels or income size. Loneliness inflicts not only mental wounds, but also poses a threat to life. How do you create and strengthen your social circle? The starting point is a conscious intention. Relationships do not arise spontaneously. They require purposeful effort, especially in a busy life or limited mobility. There are practical steps to forming a strong social structure. First, prioritize quality over quantity. A few deep, meaningful connections are of greater value than an extensive list of superficial acquaintances. Look for people who inspire, stimulate development, and share common values. It is important to invest time and attention in those who show interest and find opportunities to communicate. Secondly, reciprocity is key. Take the initiative. Don't wait for invitations. Initiate contact yourself, plan meetings, such as over coffee, organize board game nights, or create a book club. Small tokens of attention, such as a text message asking how someone is doing or a phone call to find out the latest news, are of great importance. It is important to create a positive dynamic in relationships. Regular communication helps turn acquaintances into friendships. Thirdly, strive for diversity in your social circle. While time-tested friends are of great value, new acquaintances open up fresh perspectives. Signing up for courses, participating in volunteer activities, or attending public events allows you to meet people who are not in your usual circle. Intergenerational friendships, such as mentoring a young person or learning from an older generation, enrich life experiences. Fourthly, be open and vulnerable. Genuine relationships are built on trust and sincerity. Share your fears, dreams, and difficulties, not just showcase your achievements. Vulnerability helps build trust and turns casual connections into strong bonds. Fifth, use technology wisely. For those who are far away or have limited mobility, video calls, group chats, and online forums can be an effective means of maintaining contact. However, do not allow virtual communication to completely replace face-to-face meetings. Physical presence has a unique power. Sixth, be generous. Provide support to others without expecting immediate returns. Listen attentively, celebrate successes, and show empathy in difficult times. Generosity creates an atmosphere of goodwill and strengthens social connections. Seventh, remain committed to relationships even during conflicts. Ideal relationships do not exist. Disagreements are inevitable, but separation should not be the first solution. Learn to forgive, communicate openly, and overcome difficulties. Resilience in relationships reflects resilience in life. Building a social circle is not a one-time task, but an ongoing process. Life changes, such as retirement, moving, or the loss of loved ones, can lead to a narrowing of the social circle, so adaptability is crucial. The benefits of having strong social connections are enormous. A sense of belonging, the joy of communication, and the confidence that you are not alone. Treat your social circle like a garden. Plant seeds, carefully nurture them, and it will blossom, bringing joy and support for many years. In a world that often exalts independence, it is important to remember that no one can thrive in isolation. Close people are a source of strength. Invest in relationships, stay connected, and watch life fill with energy and meaning, regardless of age. Lastly, treat each meal as an investment in your long-term well-being. The famous phrase, "We are what we eat," becomes especially relevant over time, especially after reaching the age of 80. At this age, the body shows increased susceptibility to the quality of food consumed, and the decisions made at the table can either strengthen vitality or accelerate its decline. Food is not just a source of energy, but a valuable raw material necessary for cell renewal, maintaining organ function, and determining the further trajectory of health. A diet rich in processed foods, high in refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives acts as a slow poison, triggering inflammation, oxidative stress, and age-related diseases such as cardiovascular pathologies, diabetes, and cognitive decline. In contrast, a nutrient-rich diet based on whole foods and abundant in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and healthy fats can increase the body's resilience, extend life, and preserve mental and physical abilities into old age. A mindful approach to nutrition is an investment in the future, where one remains active, energetic, and maintains mental clarity. Examples from history and culture vividly demonstrate the power of a conscious approach to nutrition. Take, for example, Li Qingyuan, a Chinese herbalist whose life, according to some accounts, lasted an incredible 190-plus years. While documentary evidence of this fact is questionable, his longevity is attributed to a thoughtful plant-based diet. It was based on herbs known for their nutritional value, such as ginseng, goji berries, and licorice root. A lifestyle built on moderation and harmony also played an important role. Although such an advanced age may seem unbelievable, the principles of his approach are confirmed by modern science. A diet consisting of natural, unprocessed foods promotes cell renewal and maintains overall health. Equally telling is the Mediterranean diet, whose association with increased lifespan and reduced risk of chronic diseases has been confirmed by numerous studies. It includes whole grains, legumes, vegetables, fruits, nuts, olive oil, and moderate consumption of fish and wine. Residents of regions such as Sardinia in Italy and Icaria in Greece, which are among the so-called blue zones where there are many long livers, traditionally adhere to a diet that prioritizes plant-based foods, lean sources of protein, and healthy fats, rather than processed foods. It is important to note that these people are not simply restricting themselves in order to lose weight. They approach nutrition consciously, viewing food as a source of health and vitality. Impressive scientific data underscores the importance of nutrition in the aging process. Over time, the body loses its ability to effectively absorb essential nutrients, and metabolism slows down, making it especially important to choose foods with maximum nutritional value. In particular, antioxidants, which are abundant in vibrant fruits and vegetables such as blueberries, spinach, and sweet potatoes, actively combat oxidative stress, a major factor in aging that damages cells and DNA. Omega-3 fatty acids, abundant in fatty fish such as salmon and flax seeds, support brain health and reduce inflammation, potentially reducing the risk of Alzheimer's disease and cardiovascular disease. Protein, often underestimated in the diet of older adults, plays a vital role in maintaining muscle mass and strength. Sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, can be mitigated by ensuring adequate intake of high-quality protein sources such as legumes, lentils, eggs, or lean meat. Fiber, found in whole grains and vegetables, supports gut health, which, as modern research shows, is closely linked to immune function and even mood regulation. At the same time, excessive consumption of processed foods negatively affects the gut microbiome, causes sharp fluctuations in blood sugar levels, and promotes systemic inflammation, which gradually undermines health. Longevity studies note that people who have crossed the century mark rarely indulge in trendy diets or meticulous calorie counting. Instead, they intuitively choose foods that support life and energy rather than fleeting gastronomic whims. It is important to emphasize that this approach does not imply strict restrictions. On the contrary, many long livers derive true pleasure from food, turning each meal into a meaningful social and cultural ritual. For example, in Okinawa, one of the regions of the world with a high concentration of long livers, the principle of hara hachibu is followed, according to which one should stop eating when feeling only 80% full. This approach promotes moderation without sacrificing taste. Local dishes are characterized by bright colors, a variety of ingredients, and an abundance of fresh vegetables, tofu, and fish, reflecting the harmony needed to maintain the health of body and mind. To adopt this principle, it is necessary to reconsider one's attitude to food. One should give preference to whole, minimally processed foods. Instead of fast food and sugary snacks, it's recommended to include vibrant salads, nutritious soups, and whole grain dishes in your diet. Experimenting with herbs and spices not only enriches the flavor of your meals, but also provides your body with potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant substances. Turmeric, garlic, and rosemary are excellent choices. It's important to plan your meals, ensuring a variety of foods to obtain a wide range of nutrients. Whenever possible, you should buy local products or grow your own herbs and vegetables, establishing a closer connection with the food you consume. Don't forget the importance of social connections. Eating together with loved ones enhances the emotional and psychological benefits of healthy eating, as strong social ties are another characteristic of the cultures of long-lived people. Fifth, it's necessary to discover your purpose, that spark that motivates you to wake up every morning. At the very heart of a long and fulfilling life lies a deep yet simple truth. Having a purpose is a powerful elixir of longevity. What's the point of crossing the centennial mark if every day seems like a colorless repetition devoid of meaning and direction? A deeply rooted personal sense of purpose is not just a trendy motivational slogan, but a fundamental driver of physical, mental, and emotional resilience. It's that spark that gets you out of bed, a compass that points the right way among life's choices, and fuel that keeps your spirit unwavering in the face of inevitable challenges. This fifth and final secret to a vibrant and long life lies in discovering your why, that reason for existence that resonates so deeply in your soul that it becomes the heartbeat of your entire being. Purpose doesn't necessarily have to be expressed in grand gestures or world-changing ambitions, although for some it may be. It's about identifying what makes life worthwhile, whether it's caring for loved ones, excelling in a favorite pursuit, contributing to the community, or simply bringing joy to others. Numerous studies convincingly demonstrate that people with a strong sense of purpose tend to live longer and maintain good health. For example, a study conducted by the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center found that people who reported having a clear purpose in life had a significantly reduced risk of developing Alzheimer's disease and a slower rate of cognitive decline. Another study published in the prestigious journal The Lancet showed that older adults who felt a sense of meaning in their lives had a lower risk of mortality, even after accounting for important factors such as financial well-being, education level, and physical condition. It seems that purpose not only fills days with meaning, but also actively strengthens the body and mind, protecting them from the destructive effects of time. In the annals of human achievement, a special place belongs to Fauja Singh, a man who continued to conquer marathon distances at the age of 100. Born in India in 1911, Singh turned to running only in his late 80s when the bitterness of losing his wife and son plunged him into despair. However, his perseverance was fueled not only by a desire for physical perfection. His athleticism was certainly impressive, but his true purpose was to inspire others, especially the younger generation, to take care of their health and develop resilience of spirit. Singh's mission became a powerful incentive for him to train, push his limits, and participate in competitions with a smile that radiated unwavering determination. His life convincingly proves the undeniable truth. Having a purpose not only prolongs life, but also fills it with meaning and content. The Japanese concept of ikigai offers another perspective on the secret to longevity and happiness. This concept, which can be roughly translated as a reason for being, implies finding harmony between what you love, what you are good at, what is valuable to you, and what the world needs. In Okinawa, one of the blue zones of the planet, known for its high concentration of long-lived people, ikigai is an integral part of the culture. For some, ikigai manifests itself in caring for a garden that feeds the family. For others, it lies in mastering traditional crafts or passing on wisdom to their community. The people of Okinawa do not perceive purpose as something abstract and sublime. They live it every day, weaving it into the fabric of their daily lives. This quiet devotion to something greater than themselves is a key factor determining not only the length of their lives, but also their high level of satisfaction with it. Purpose can take many different forms and does not necessarily have to remain unchanged throughout life. For one person, it might be raising children and then mentoring others or engaging in volunteer work. For another, it could be a lifelong dedication to art, science, or faith. A prime example is Anna Mary Robertson Moses, better known as Grandma Moses. She began painting in her late 70s after dedicating her life to farming and raising children. By removing all advertising inserts, calls to specific actions, and descriptions of the soundtrack, the author preserved the essence of the narrative. Her vibrant, nostalgic works captured the hearts of viewers worldwide, and even in her advanced age, well into her 90s, she continued to create, inspired by a renewed desire to share her unique vision. Celebrating her centennial, she still found joy in painting, her unwavering enthusiasm fueled by the realization of an important mission. This artist's life journey convincingly demonstrates that purpose can evolve, and it's never too late to discover it. Finding your why is no easy task, especially in today's world where productivity often takes precedence over meaning. This process requires deep introspection and utmost honesty with oneself. It's worth asking yourself, what fills life with energy and joy? What contribution do you want to make to the world, even if it seems insignificant? What might you regret if you never dared to do it? Such reflections can shed light on true aspirations. For some, the meaning of life lies in relationships, in supporting loved ones, caring for family and friends. For others, it's in creativity, serving society, or an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. There is no one-size-fits-all recipe. However, the very process of seeking one's purpose is a powerful stimulus for life, an exciting journey that allows you to explore your values, passions, and the legacy you want to leave behind. Having a purpose in life is not just a philosophical concept, but a powerful factor that has a profound impact on a person's physical and mental health. From a physiological point of view, having a purpose acts as a kind of shield, protecting the body from the destructive effects of stress. When a person feels in control of their life and clearly understands the direction of their movement, the level of the stress hormone, cortisol, in their blood decreases. Excess cortisol is known to undermine health, leading to various diseases. In addition, having a purpose promotes resilience to life's adversities. A person who knows why they live is much more likely to recover from setbacks and shocks, whether it be health problems or personal losses. Purpose encourages a healthier lifestyle. There is an incentive to eat right, maintain physical activity, and strengthen social connections. From a psychological point of view, having a purpose is a powerful antidote to loneliness and depression, two serious factors that increase the risk of premature death. In essence, purpose is a holistic force that harmonizes the work of body, mind, and soul, promoting longevity. If a person doesn't know where to start looking for their purpose, it's worth turning to the experience of those who have already found their path. Centenarians of Sardinia, one of the regions of the world known for its high concentration of long-lived people, often cite their role as grandparents or community elders as their main purpose in life. They remain involved in community life, feel valued and needed, and share their knowledge and experience with other generations. Similarly, people who engage in volunteer activities, dedicating their time to causes they care about, often report feeling more satisfied and energized, regardless of their age. Even small but regular actions, such as writing letters, teaching others useful skills, or planting trees, can give a sense of belonging to something bigger and more meaningful. The main thing is consistency and connection with what truly inspires and ignites the inner fire.